You might think that pants is just a very simple, basic part of the garment, but I honestly think that often it is an overlooked part of the Viking outfit in reenactment. So today we're going to look at different types of legwear and ways to cover the lower part of your body that we have actually archaeological evidence to back up, and also contemporary depictions on things such as runestones to really help us get a more clearer look on what legwear was like back in the days. I'm very glad that you tuned in on this video, and if you want to know more about legwear and pants from the Viking Age, this is definitely the video for you. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink or a snack or a small sewing project, and let's get started. So most of what we know of Viking legwear is based on textile fragments or temporary iconography. For the textile fragments, we do have a very well preserved pair of pants from Torsberg or Torsbjerg, and it predates the Viking Age quite a bit, but is generally used a lot in reenactment. It's a straight pair of pants, pretty slim fit, made from 4 pieces. A simple design, but yet tailored to fit the body nicely. And the funny part of these were that a foot was attached to the pants, almost like a pair of stockings or something. And from Hedeby we have something that is believed to be the top part of a pair of hosen. If you're not familiar with the concept of hosen, it's a tube leg, like just a leg of a pair of pants that you pull up on your leg and you tie it with a little strap to your belt. Another thing that was found in Hedeby among the textile fragments is a part that resembles a part of a more baggy pair of pants. So just to sum up, we have roughly 3 different categories of Viking legwear. We have the hosen and braies, and we have the straight type of straight-legged pants, and of course the baggy or more full pants. And all these 3 categories are also depicted in various forms and styles, or can be interpreted on the depictions on for example, on runestones from the Viking Age. And what I'm making here today is a pair of braies. So it's basically a pair of shorts or pants with short sleeves. We don't know much about how these actually looked, and there's no clear indication of textile fragments that point to this piece of clothing. Excuse me, I'm just gonna thread the needle again. But the pattern for these braies here, I'm basing off the fragments or the remains from the Torsberg pants. So this here is an example of a straight-legged, tailored fit pair of pants. These ones in particular are sewn after the pattern that we got off the surviving pair of pants from Torsbjerg or Torsberg. The original pair of pants from Torsbjerg featured as basically a sock sewn onto the pair of pants in the same material or fabric as the rest of the pants. These ones here are just pants. I have taken away the foot. It's very, very comfortable to wear, very straight. It's a lot like modern pants that we're used to today. Great movability, and it's just very lovely to wear. And again, these can be worn, of course, with the leg wraps or without the leg wraps. I suppose that depends on what you want to display and also what use you want. Because if I was walking through the woods over here, I would definitely want to wear my leg wraps to protect my legs and my pants from being stuck on anything. So yeah. Very basic setup. I'm just going to take a moment here and show you a bit more about how the pattern looks from the original pants, and how I adapted it to this pair of Braies. Right now I'm finishing up the edges of the Braies here, folding down twice and stitching with a simple whip stitch. I've been demonstrating this stitch quite a few times, one of the simplest ways to connect or join pieces of fabric. I need to finish up the other leg and the waist seam, and then add a few belt loops, and then you'll be able to get a better look about what this really is, rather than just a pile of reddish fabric. A while back, I think shortly after, I made the video about sewing the Hedeby tunic, the brown tunic with the plant-dyed wool. There was 2 viewers who contacted me and wanted to send me like a gift or a present for my next sewing project. And one of them was a guy who made this fantastic little bone needle. He sent me a few, and I've been sewing this whole project here with the bone needles. Accidentally, I did break one of them by not being careful. I snapped it, and I felt terrible. But luckily, there was another one, and they are just amazing to work with. So in fact, he did send me 4 needles, 2 small bone needles, one longer, even finer bone needle, and one a bit larger needle made from wood. And he sent me these 4 needles with a very kind and friendly letter, and I was just so happy to receive this. And I have never tried to sew with a bone needle before, but I must admit it is absolutely fantastic. The way the round, smooth shape and the bone material just finds its way through the weave of the fabric and leaves almost no trace, even though it's of course slightly bigger in diameter than any modern needle. Is just fantastic, and I think I'm definitely going to be sewing a lot with these needles, and I will take great care of them. They are just fantastic to work with, and I'm very, very happy for this present. Thank you so much. And also, shortly after making the video about the brown Hedeby tunic, I was contacted by a lady who makes hand-forged needles, and she asked me if I'd be interested to try out some of her needles. And she sent me these 4 beautiful handmade, hand-forged needles. 2 of them, a large and a small in iron, and another set of a large and small in bronze, I believe. It's a absolutely beautiful work, and I can't wait to try these out as well. So thank you so much, Kat. This is fantastic. So this is an example of the baggy pants that we have evidence of from Hedeby. It's a very full set of pants featuring a lot of textile. I don't think there's much of a practical function to these, but they do show off a lot of fabric that if it was that would have cost a lot of money, and especially if it had been plant dyed, that would be a really good way to show your wealth or status in society. They're really comfortable to wear. I must admit, these are made from natural linen, and I love wearing these. I've been sewing a lot lately. I've had a lot of projects. I was sewing clothes for myself, the tunic that you saw a few videos back maybe. And I just recently finished sewing a green dress for my wife. And also a while back, I was sewing a leather tunic for a friend. I have a really good friend who's a blacksmith, and he does amazing stuff. And he always supports my crazy ideas and my projects. And often he is kind enough to offer to help if there's something I need hand forged for the videos. And recently I was able to pick up this lovely pair of scissors that he forged based off of a historical replica. And I got to see the leather tunic that I handed over to him a while back actually now in use and starting to get some wear, some patina, and he was really happy with it. So that's just fantastic. So you might remember from a few videos back that I was plant dyeing here a large piece of fabric, wool fabric with mushrooms. And I was expecting the dye to color my fabric like into a rich, vibrant red or something. But what I learned afterwards, or what I found out afterwards, was that I had been collecting both kinds of the mushroom, both the orangey ones and the red ones, and I had mixed the heads with the stalks as well. So actually, I think that that salmon color or faded orange, light orange that you saw coming out of the pot in that episode was actually just exactly what I should have expected. But something really interesting happened. I don't remember if I actually showed it in the video, but when the dye was cooling off, I dropped in a wool hat just to see what would happen. I read somewhere that sometimes leaving textiles in the dye overnight or for longer periods of time can have some kind of effect. When I pulled that wool hat out a few days later, it was dark and vibrant orange, like something way richer and warmer than the original fabric I had been dyeing. So I thought to myself that I would put the wool fabric back in the pot, and I did. I left it there for quite a few days, and I did heat it up one more time, and I was very, very surprised with the result. When I pulled the fabric out, it was darker and vibrant. Like it was this. I don't know if you can see it good on the camera, but it was this faded, burned red. That is actually what I was hoping for in the first place. So I was very, very satisfied with that, and I did wash it a few times after just to make sure that the dye had set into the fabric and did not just wash out. Yeah, so I guess there is some kind of magic and risk or moments of the unexpected when you're plant dyeing. At least when I'm plant dyeing and not being very experienced or any kind of expert at all. So yeah. I just finished laying down all the seams, and this is starting to look like a pair of pants or braies, short sleeved pants or whatever. I am going to turn them around and flatten or smoothen the seams with my smoothing stone, and I am going to give you a closer look on what this actually looks like before we'll attach the belt loops. I'm making these simple belt loops just out of a rectangular piece of fabric that is folded over a few times in each side, and they become this little, belt loop that I will attach to the top seam or the waist seam, and then a bit further down on my braies. Another thing about the needles here, one thing is that just the contrast of the red yarn, the red woolen thread, and the fabric, and then the white needle is just, it's just fantastic. I love watching it. as I'm working along. I'm not sure if you can hear this, but that very subtle sound that the needle makes as it passes through the weave and the fabric, and then pulls the thread, the waxed thread with it through the fibers, is just, it's a small little hissing kind of sound that is just yeah, it's a bit hard for me to explain, but it's a very mindful experience to be sewing here. I always enjoy hand sewing, especially with wool and natural materials. It's the tactile feeling, and also the sensorial inputs. It's just it's really soothing for the soul. And if you have not yet tried to hand sew anything, and you feel curious, I can definitely recommend you to give it a go. Even if you sew a tiny little purse or a bag, or yeah. Besides the obvious reward of having something that you created yourself with your own hands, it's also a very good process to be working with these materials and the old traditional techniques. I just need to attach the last of the belt loops, and then we'll be able to thread a belt onto the brace here and see how they look and if they fit. I just need to thread the needle one more time. A little bit of wax as always, because this makes the needle, this makes the thread stronger, and it will be more durable as it needs to pass through the fabric a lot of times. Yeah, and here we go. It's quite easy with the bone needle here with the larger hole. There we go. As always, when I come to the end and I need to cut off, I just make sure to sew a few times over in the same spot. That makes sure that nothing slips and no threads will undo themselves. I don't need to tie the knots, and then I can just snip it off. Let's get a belt onto here and try these on. One part of the Viking legwear or pants we have not talked about yet is the leg wraps. We have found these long woven fragments of textile up to 2 meters long from Hedeby and other places. And according to their interpretations and also depictions from the contemporary artwork, it's believed that these were wrapped up around the lower legs. I believe there's different reasons for this. One, it adds support to your calves while walking, and especially when walking in Viking footwear, the flat-soled turn shoes, where you're basically walking bare feet with a piece of leather under you, and it's not very supportive of your ankle or the foot movement. This wrapping this relatively tight on your calf supports the lower part of the leg. At least that's what I found. I do walk in minimalist and barefoot footwear in my everyday life, so the transition into Viking shoes is not so massive for me, but I do like the support that it gives. Another thing that the leg wraps does is it increases the amount of layers that you have on your lower leg, and that is very useful for protection if you're walking through brushes and branches or thorny bushes. I've tried this in the mountains in the north of Spain. Actually, that is where I was also sewing the pair of hosen that I'm wearing. So if you want to see how to measure exactly on your leg and how to make the perfect fitting pair of hosen for yourself, I'll leave a little link to the video below so you can go and check that out and make a pair for yourself. But up there in the mountains, there's these thorny brambles or whatever it's called, and having all these layers wrapped around your leg on top of the hosen or on top of the pants you're wearing in the first place actually adds quite a good protection for your skin. Another curious thing is that people of the Viking Age seem to have loved to boast and flash their colors, and having different parts of if I put these leg wraps on right now, my leg wear consists of 3 different parts: my leg wraps, my hosen, and then the braies that we just sewed. And I have 3 different ways to show color, to flash my color, to flash my status if I wanted to. But also I have 3 different kinds of materials for 3 different purposes. The braies that are sewn from muslin, like really thin, almost see-through wool, and it's just so pleasant to wear on your skin. And then a thicker, more tightly woven wool for the hosen that gives me warmth here, and I don't become too warm when I'm working in the crotch area. And then I can add this as an even coarser or harder layer to protect myself. So altogether, this set of 3 really does a good job and a versatile job at keeping your legs covered and safe and sound. I'm just going to wrap these on here so you can see how it looks with the red leg wraps. And these are dyed with madder, and then the hosen dyed with I believe that was walnut shells, or walnut or onion shells. I believe they were dyed with onion shells, onion skins, or walnut shells. I don't remember. And then the braies here dyed with the mushrooms. And as you see, these can be fastened either with a small hook or brooch here. It could be a small ring brooch or a raven hook like that, like I have here. But also we have found this small set here of attached to a short strap. I believe this is from Lejre in Denmark, and it was found in this section next to a buried body or skeleton, indicating that it must have been worn here. So this would be another way to secure your leg wrap, by a short strap or belt here. Let me just show you. And again, this could add support for your leg depending on the way you put it and the way you tighten it. There we go. I'm just going to put on the last strap for my leg wrap here, and then you can get a look of the whole set here together. I think that many people find that pants and leg wear in historical reenactment is just a basic thing, like a straight set of tubes that you put on your leg and that's it. But I actually think it's a very underrated piece or part of the garment. I would love to hear from you. Do you have a favorite set of Viking legwear? It could be the baggy pants that we've seen. It could be the tailored, straight-legged pants that we've also seen, or the hosen and braies setup. What's your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. That would be very interesting. I know what my favorite is. I wonder if you can guess that. I just want to make clear that there is other textile fragments and surviving garment parts that could be part or is probably part of different legwears. So these three that I have been talking about here today are not the everything there is. I would say that these three are some standard types that you can combine in different ways. I mean, you could wear any of them with or without the leg wraps. You could wear in theory, you could wear the braies alone on a warm day just as a pair of shorts or underwear. You can have the hosen on. So there's different ways to combine and get the expression you want for your legwear in your historical reenactment. I started out years ago thinking that legwear was the most boring and simple part of the Viking attire. But I must admit, I've come to learn that there is so many interesting ways that you can cover and protect your lower part of the body. But again, I want to emphasize that everything here is interpretations of either depictions or textile fragments, because we have only very, very little complete surviving garments to actually look at. Although there is a few, but yeah. If you want to support the channel even further, consider heading over to Patreon. I try at least once a month, hopefully more, to upload an exclusive video for Patreon that only my patrons can see. Videos or material, B-roll, places I've been in reenactment, things that doesn't make it here onto the YouTube channel. So there is something to come to Patreon for. So if you're curious about that, head over to Patreon, check it out. It's a great way to support the channel in other ways. But already by watching this video, by writing me a comment, by being subscribed to the channel, you are giving me a lot of support. So thank you so much. That's it for now. Stay safe. It's a crazy world. Take care of yourself, take care of the people you love, and I will see you soon.